Peas, the sweet trap you didn't notice. We've all grown up with peas, those tiny green pearls that seem to embody everything wholesome about vegetables. They're in our casseroles, soups, salads, and even frozen dinners. For decades, they've been marketed as a superfood, packed with protein, fiber, essential vitamins, and minerals. But what if I told you that these seemingly innocent little spheres might be hiding a dark secret? What if I revealed that peas could silently sabotage your health, especially as you age? Before you dismiss this as alarmist nonsense, let me take you on a journey through the hidden dangers of peas, a journey backed by science, personal stories, and practical advice. The allure of peas, why we love them so much. Let's start with why peas are so beloved. Picture this, a steaming bowl of creamy chicken pot pie, studded with vibrant green peas. Or imagine sitting at a summer barbecue, enjoying a refreshing salad sprinkled with sweet, tender peas. There's something inherently comforting about peas. Their mild sweetness, soft texture, and versatility make them a staple in kitchens across America. They're easy to cook, affordable, and widely available year-round, whether fresh, canned, or frozen. But here's the thing about peas. Their charm lies not just in their taste, but also in their reputation. From childhood, we've been taught that peas are good for us. They're rich in vitamin K, vitamin C, folate, and manganese. They're a source of plant-based protein and fiber, making them appealing to vegetarians, vegans, and anyone looking to eat healthier. And let's not forget how convenient they are. Just toss a handful into a dish, and suddenly it feels nutritious. However, beneath this facade of wholesomeness lurks a potential threat, one that becomes increasingly significant as we grow older. While peas may have been harmless companions during our youth, they can become problematic allies in our senior years. To understand why, we need to delve deeper into the science behind peas and how they interact with the aging body. The hidden danger, blood sugar spikes, and insulin resistance. One of the most alarming aspects of peas is their high glycemic load. If you're unfamiliar with the term, think of it as a measure of how quickly a food raises your blood sugar levels after consumption. Foods with a high glycemic load break down rapidly into glucose, causing sharp spikes in blood sugar. For young people with robust insulin sensitivity, this isn't usually a problem. Their bodies efficiently process the glucose and stabilize their blood sugar levels. But as we age, things change. After 50, our bodies naturally become less responsive to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance. This means that when we consume foods like peas, which quickly convert into sugar, our blood sugar levels can soar uncontrollably. Imagine pouring gasoline onto a fire. That's essentially what happens inside your bloodstream. Over time, repeated blood sugar spikes can lead to chronic fatigue, energy crashes, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, a disease that affects millions of seniors worldwide. Consider Mary, a 62-year-old retiree from Ohio. She prided herself on eating healthy, incorporating plenty of vegetables into her meals. One of her favorites was peas. She added them to soups, stir-fries, and even omelets. But over time, she began noticing unusual symptoms: persistent fatigue, mood swings, and unexplained weight gain. Concerned, she visited her doctor, who diagnosed her with prediabetes. It wasn't until Mary started tracking her diet more closely that she realized peas were contributing to her blood sugar instability. By reducing her intake, she noticed a dramatic improvement in her energy levels and overall well-being. Mary's story isn't unique. Many seniors unknowingly consume peas without realizing their impact on blood sugar regulation. The key takeaway? Moderation is crucial. If you love peas, consider pairing them with low glycemic foods like lean proteins or healthy fats to slow down digestion and mitigate blood sugar spikes. Alternatively, explore substitutes like green beans or broccoli, which offer similar nutritional benefits without the same glycemic risks. The purine problem: uric acid buildup and gout. Beyond blood sugar concerns, peas pose another hidden danger: their purine content. Purines are natural compounds found in many foods, including peas. When consumed, purines break down into uric acid, a waste product that's normally excreted through urine. In moderation, uric acid isn't harmful. However, excessive levels can accumulate in the body, particularly in joints, leading to painful conditions like gout. Gout, often referred to as the disease of kings, was once associated with indulgent feasts and rich foods. Today, it's a growing concern among seniors, affecting nearly 9 million Americans. The hallmark symptom of gout is excruciating pain in the joints, typically starting in the big toe. Attacks can last for days or weeks, leaving sufferers unable to walk or perform daily tasks. While red meat and shellfish are notorious culprits for gout, few realize that peas can contribute to the problem too. Take John, a 70-year-old grandfather from Texas. He'd always enjoyed peas as part of his Southern-style cooking. But one day, he woke up with throbbing pain in his left foot. Thinking it was a sprain, he rested and applied ice, but the pain only worsened. A trip to the doctor confirmed gout, and further testing revealed elevated uric acid levels. Upon reviewing his diet, John discovered that his frequent pea consumption was likely exacerbating the issue. By cutting back on peas and other high-purine foods, he managed to reduce his gout flare-ups significantly. For seniors prone to gout or arthritis, peas should be approached with caution. While they're not off-limits entirely, portion control is essential. Pairing peas with hydrating foods like cucumbers or celery can help flush out excess uric acid, while staying well-hydrated supports kidney function and reduces the risk of stone formation. Digestive discomfort. The role of resistant starches and lectins. If blood sugar spikes and uric acid buildup weren't enough, peas present yet another challenge: digestive discomfort. As we age, our digestive systems naturally slow down. Our bodies produce fewer enzymes, making it harder to break down certain foods. Enter peas, which contain resistant starches and lectins, compounds that can wreak havoc on an already sluggish digestive tract. Resistant starches are carbohydrates that resist digestion in the small intestine, traveling instead to the large intestine where they ferment. This fermentation process produces gas, leading to bloating, flatulence, and abdominal discomfort. Lectins, on the other hand, are anti-nutrients that interfere with nutrient absorption and irritate the gut lining. Together, these compounds can turn a simple serving of peas into a recipe for gastrointestinal distress. Take Sarah, a 58-year-old yoga instructor from California. Despite her active lifestyle, she struggled with persistent bloating and irregular bowel movements. At first, she blamed gluten or dairy, eliminating both from her diet without success. Then, during a nutrition consultation, she learned about the role of resistant starches and lectins in peas. Once she reduced her pea intake and incorporated gut-friendly foods like fermented vegetables and bone broth, her symptoms improved dramatically. For seniors experiencing digestive issues, identifying trigger foods is critical. Keeping a food diary can help pinpoint patterns and correlations between meals and symptoms. Additionally, cooking peas thoroughly can reduce their lectin content, while soaking dried peas before cooking can soften their fibers and make them easier to digest. Finding balance. How to enjoy peas safely. Does all this mean you should banish peas from your plate forever? Absolutely not. Like any food, the key lies in balance and preparation. Here are some strategies to enjoy peas safely. Moderation matters. Instead of loading up on peas at every meal, use them sparingly as a garnish or side dish. Aim for no more than half a cup per serving. Pair wisely. Combine peas with low-glycemic foods like quinoa, lentils, or avocado to stabilize blood sugar levels. Adding healthy fats like olive oil or nuts can further slow digestion. Cook thoroughly. Boiling or steaming peas helps break down their fibers and reduces lectin content. Avoid raw peas, which are harder to digest. Stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water supports kidney function and aids in flushing out excess uric acid. Herbal teas like dandelion root or nettle leaf can provide additional detoxifying benefits. Experiment with alternatives. If peas consistently cause issues, try swapping them for other legumes like edamame, chickpeas, or black-eyed peas, which offer similar textures and flavors. By adopting these practices, you can continue to enjoy the nutritional benefits of peas without compromising your health. Remember, knowledge is power. Understanding how different foods affect your body empowers you to make informed choices that support long-term wellness. Conclusion, a cautionary tale. Peas are a classic example of how appearances can be deceiving. Beneath their charming exterior lies a complex interplay of nutrients and compounds that can either nourish or harm, depending on individual circumstances. For seniors navigating the challenges of aging, awareness is key. By recognizing the potential pitfalls of peas and learning how to navigate them, you can safeguard your kidneys, joints, and digestive system while still savoring the joys of wholesome eating. So the next time you reach for that bag of frozen peas, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, are they truly serving your health, or could they be quietly undermining it? With mindfulness and intention, you can transform peas from a hidden threat into a trusted ally, one that enhances rather than detracts from your golden years. The hidden culprit, potassium overload in spinach and kale. While we've already touched on the dangers of oxalates in spinach and kale, there's another hidden issue that seniors need to be aware of: potassium overload. Both spinach and kale are exceptionally high in potassium, a mineral that plays a vital role in regulating blood pressure, nerve function, and muscle contractions. For most people, potassium is a beneficial nutrient. However, for seniors with compromised kidney function, a common issue as we age, this abundance of potassium can become a serious concern. The kidneys are responsible for filtering excess potassium from the bloodstream. When kidney function declines, as it often does in older adults, potassium levels can build up to dangerous levels, leading to a condition known as hyperkalemia. Symptoms of hyperkalemia include muscle weakness, irregular heartbeats, nausea, and in severe cases, even cardiac arrest. Imagine your heart struggling to maintain its rhythm because your body can't efficiently process the potassium from your morning smoothie or lunchtime salad. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Take the story of Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Florida. Margaret was an avid fan of green smoothies, blending spinach and kale daily to boost her energy and support her health. But over time, she began experiencing unexplained fatigue, muscle cramps, and occasional heart palpitations. Concerned, she visited her doctor, who discovered elevated potassium levels in her blood. Upon reviewing her diet, Margaret realized that her beloved smoothies were likely contributing to her symptoms. By reducing her intake of high-potassium vegetables and opting for lower potassium greens like romaine lettuce, she noticed a significant improvement in her energy levels and overall well-being. For seniors with kidney issues or those at risk of hyperkalemia, moderation is key. Pairing high-potassium vegetables with foods that counteract their effects, such as calcium-rich dairy products, can help mitigate the risks. Additionally, cooking spinach and kale, as opposed to consuming them raw, not only reduces their oxalate content, but also slightly lowers their potassium levels, making them safer for consumption. The sneaky sodium trap: canned and processed vegetables. Another often overlooked danger for seniors lies not in the vegetables themselves, but in how they're prepared and packaged. Canned and processed vegetables. While fresh produce is always the ideal choice, many seniors rely on canned or frozen vegetables for convenience, affordability, and longer shelf life. Unfortunately, these processed options often come with a hidden downside: excessive sodium. Sodium is a necessary electrolyte that helps regulate fluid balance, nerve function, and muscle contractions. However, too much sodium can lead to water retention, increased blood pressure, and strain on the cardiovascular system. For seniors whose bodies are already more susceptible to hypertension and heart disease, this added sodium can tip the scales towards serious health complications. Consider this. A single serving of canned peas or corn can contain upwards of 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium, nearly a quarter of the recommended daily limit for older adults. Let's look at Robert, a 72-year-old widower from Illinois. After losing his wife, Robert found himself cooking for one and relying heavily on canned soups and vegetables for quick, easy meals. Over time, he noticed swelling in his ankles, frequent headaches, and a general sense of fatigue. His doctor diagnosed him with high blood pressure and advised him to cut back on sodium. It wasn't until Robert started reading nutrition labels that he realized his favorite canned vegetables were contributing to his condition. By switching to low sodium or no salt added options and rinsing canned vegetables thoroughly before use, he was able to reduce his sodium intake and improve his symptoms. The solution? Whenever possible, choose fresh or frozen vegetables over canned varieties. If you must use canned vegetables, opt for those labeled low sodium or no salt added, and always rinse them under cold water before cooking to remove excess sodium. For seniors looking to preserve their heart health and manage conditions like hypertension, being mindful of sodium intake is a small yet powerful step toward better well-being. These two additional points, potassium overload in leafy greens and the sodium trap in processed vegetables, further enrich the article by addressing lesser-known risks and providing actionable solutions. Let me know if you'd like to continue expanding other sections.